What's up and welcome back to Mandy Ludo Uncapped. Now, before I get into this video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you already haven't subscribed. Stop watching my channel without subscribing. I'm gonna say it again. Stop watching my channel without subscribing. Click the subscribe button, please. Thank you. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to click the notification button to get notified every single time I post a video. Now, this is the first episode of my finance series that I was talking about in my previous video, and I am super excited about it. So I hope y'all excited with me because you know what, we're together in this thing. It's kind of hot in here. Okay, now first things first. We're young. We're just trying to make it through. We're just trying to make a living for ourselves. So finances can be a bit tricky. Now, I'm not sitting here in front of you telling you that I have it figured out. I don't, I just wing life. And sometimes, when I'm winging life, there's certain things that I learn along the way. And I'm just here to share it with you so that, you have a better understanding, or, you can visualize what you need to figure out and what you need to get straight, So firstly, again, you can take this advice, you cannot take it. Do what you want to do with it, but if it helps someone today, that's great for me. All right? Yes. Now, the most basic thing that I feel like every single person should have in their financial plan is simply a budget. Like, everyone tells you to budget and everyone tells you that you need to have a budget, but I feel like when you see the money in front of you and you see the money sitting in front of you and you see how much you're receiving and how much you're spending on whatever you be spending on and your expenses and everything, it becomes so much clearer where your money is going, and it gives you so much ease as well as a person. Like, because honestly, money can be very frustrating, and that's like one less frustration you need in your life. So I know even sometimes I don't budget. I just get the salary, wing it for the rest of the month. But then I literally have started to discipline myself and make a budget, drop a budget for every single month. And I promise you, seeing where your money is going puts you at so much ease, and you get a better understanding at what's going on, as well as you literally cut off things that you literally feel like, okay, there was no need for this, and I spent this amount of it, and that wasn't a good decision. So it really tremendously helps quite a lot. Now, before I continue, I also do want to say that this is just going to be like a basic overview of what you should have in your financial plan currently, as 20-something year olds, I'm not saying you should. It's compulsory to have every single thing that I'm going to talk about today. But I will also go into detail, like in the upcoming videos that I'm going to post, about all the things that I'm going to talk about today. So today, I'm just briefly brushing through, what you guys can expect, the videos and all of that. All right. Now that you've had your budget, you've done your budget, everything is good. I really need to teach myself this, but I do recommend having cash on you majority of the time. I know having cash sometimes is, it's not ideal, and honestly, it's not safe to always have cash on you, but I'm not saying have like 5k on you. Like, why would you walk around with 5k? But like, it's also, it helps with spending your money when you actually physically pay for things via cash instead of swiping. Swiping is, I will always recommend it, but I feel like with like little things such as maybe going to do your nails or going to do your hair, to guys, 30 rand for the haircut. I don't know what niggas do with their money, but 30 rand for the haircut. In case you're Pierre, the bottle of gin, like when you see the money physically leave your hands and go somewhere else, trust me, like I know that feeling, like, yes, I shouldn't be spending this money. And sometimes you need that feeling. You definitely need that feeling. So please, can you do that for me? Can you? One of the things that I feel like you should take into consideration when you are now sitting down and, fixing your financial life and everything is you should look into life cover or life insurance. Now, I want you to have the idea of it's two different things. It's not the same. It's two different things, because once you are able to differentiate between the two, everything's going to be smooth sailing. the weekend. I don't have English left in me. But anyway, everything's going to be smooth sailing after that. So now with your risk cover, you're just looking at your illness, your dread disease, your disability cover, your income protection cover. That's basically risk cover, right? So those are amounts that you will receive as payments, either lump sum or like monthly payments, if you were to get sick, and you qualify for whatever illness cover that you have with whichever service provider that you have, or like with disability. So you'd get like a, something that could be a provision for you via your income. So, you don't have to sit and be sick, and be stressed, like, I don't have money. What am I going to do? And I have all of these medical bills. You have that as an option to look into it, right? Now, shut it down. Forget about that. Now, your other one is life insurance, which from my understanding is basically cover that you take up, to make provision for if one day, God forbid, something happens to you and you have people who are financially dependent on you, people who won't be able to do life, who won't be able to like do basic things like groceries, go to school, clothe themselves, that type of thing. Then you get your life insurance, you understand? There's so many people that I know that have life insurance who don't have people who are financially dependent on them, or who are just dependent on their help directly, and they have it, but you're like, okay, when, God forbid, you die, this thing pays out, who is it going to go to? So now every month you're like paying a debit order, 500, 600, for what? You don't have a kid yet. You don't have any form of like person, just like I spoke about right now. So those are the type of debit orders monthly that you don't necessarily need. You only need them if you need to actually look into it and be like, okay, why am I getting life insurance? Like, not depend on him. Like me, I don't have a kid. My parents don't depend on me. So it wouldn't make sense for me to now go and get life insurance just in jail. Like when I literally am paying for it to pay back to who? Do you know what I'm saying? So those are the type of questions you should ask yourself as well if you're looking into life cover for risk as well as life insurance. Like personalize it towards your own life. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't have unnecessary debit orders going off every single month. Because sometimes you end up canceling things that you actually need because you're like, this is becoming a lot. Or even sometimes you're paying for something and you get frustrated. You're like, I'm not receiving any benefits from this. Why am I paying it? So we're trying to limit the frustration and we're trying to make sure that we actually know where our money is going. And we know when a debit order goes off every month, we're like, it's rent. Kind of need a place to stay, so it's rent, So just get yourself in the mindset of personalizing your financial plan towards your specific life. Now we go into what I like to call your luxuries. I call them luxuries for us because you don't necessarily need them. But I highly, highly ask that you please look into it. Please try it out. All right? My two basics. Your savings, your investments. Two different things yet again. Savings, emergency funds, investments, long term. Okay? Now, it's that simple. All right? The problem comes when you want to make your investment your savings or your emergency fund, or you want to make your savings like your investment. You need to, in your head, have the picture of your savings is for emergencies. So if you now experience some sort of like freak nature and your bed breaks, I'm looking at my bed, that's all. Like your bed breaks, you go into your savings, you get your savings, your money, and you go get and replace. That's what it's for. Emergencies, little nitty-gritty things that you might need and whatever. Investments is long term. Your investments shouldn't be something that you'd want to dig into in 2 months or in 3 months. No, investments don't work like that. Investments generate your biggest capital and your biggest return long term, not in 12 months. That's still an emergency fund. Not in 2 years, still considered emergency fund. Anything 3 years and above could be an investment. Okay? So get that in your head. Long term, emergency fund. Savings, investments. All right? I would literally want you to please set up in a savings, some sort of a saving pocket savings plan or something, because even if you start with 50 rand, if you save 50 rand per month, that's more than enough, because 3 months down the line, if you need a screen protector, you have 150. You have 150 to go buy a new screen protector. So start as little as you can and just try to be disciplined with your savings. And just remember, don't be too hard on yourself and think, yeah, no, I'm always moving money to my savings, but I end up using it. It's savings for a reason. It's not supposed to grow. That's an investment, okay? So don't be too hard on yourself, sweetie. It's all right. We're all trying to do our best. We are going to get old one day. And by us getting old, we want to retire comfortably. Now, I know a lot of us want to retire before, the retirement age, which is 55, 60 or 65, because it's a lot. You get tired. You don't want to be working for the rest of your life. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5 and being comfortable in your 9-to-5 and just wanting to retire and leave a 9-to-5. Not everyone wants to be entrepreneurs. Not everyone wants to start a business. Not everyone wants to marry rich. Not everyone wants to, but I'd recommend it. But not everyone wants to Now, something that you should think of and you should consider, even though we are, a bit young and everything. I'm saying this because I know the audience of my channel, it's all 20-somethings, are a retirement savings or funds. Again, I'll go into detail in another video, but we're gonna retire one day and you want to be comfortable. You don't want to just make it. You really just want to be very comfortable and be like, listen, I've worked all these years, now I'm comfortable and I'm living my best life, being in a retired cool, And honestly, most of us want to retire very young, but not retire as in now sit down, but we want to stop working at a particular age and just live our best lives. But there's nothing wrong with people who want to continue with their 9-to-5s and retire out of their 9-to-5s. Nothing wrong with it. Not everyone rather wants to own businesses. Not everyone wants to, be entrepreneurs or hustlers or marry rich or what. Not everyone. We're different, Do what's best for you. Again, do what's best for you and what works for your life. All right? Now, you don't necessarily need to get employment that will offer you, sort of pension funds or retirement funds. You can actually start saving for your retirement by yourself. Just get a service provider that is, of course, authorized, and get yourself into a retirement fund. Retirement annuity, the most simplest one, You don't need to have an employer, providing for you or paying half. You can do it yourself. You can start saving yourself. And the sooner you start, the better. The better, because you don't know how life is going to go out. So the sooner you start, the better. And no one can touch that money. No one can touch that money. It's recommended that you don't touch that money until you retire. You can, but don't touch it. And by you can, I'll explain in detail. But, you gotta start early, save up so that you can be comfortable and all that, So that's the fourth. It's the fourth thing on the list. Yeah, we've had budgets. We've had life cover. We've spoken about savings and investments, and now I've just touched on retirements. That is that's going to be a very detailed and lengthy video. But again, this is just an intro video to the type of things that I'm going to be talking about. All right. Now, I don't want to make this video way too long, but I just want to quickly mention a couple of things. I understand that we all come from different financial backgrounds, and we all have different financial strengths and weaknesses. So I want to please remind you again that my points, I don't want to say my advice because I don't want to say that, but the points that I'm going to be discussing in the upcoming videos, I'm literally coming from a point of a Black female in South Africa who's young. I'm not married. I don't have a kid, but shit is getting real. You look at your future and you're like, this is where I want to be, and the in-between is what I'm trying to, get right, and what I'm trying to get together. I know that, Black tax is a real thing, And not saying that black tax is like, I don't want to say it in a mean way, but it's literally somehow killing the youth. It really is. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with helping out back home. There's absolutely nothing with helping back home or being the breadwinner or whatever. There's nothing wrong in, like, rather you literally are that person. You are their saving grace, and you are the miracle every month that they have groceries, they have electricity, and they still got a roof over their heads. Listen, like, you are that person for them. Like, you are literally their guardian angel, you know. But it also does dig deep into your own pocket when you're trying to build your own life. And you know, I feel like struggling alone and not knowing how to navigate through these type of things doesn't help at the end of the day, because it can lead to worst case scenarios, mental illnesses, whereby now you're literally living through hell, when you could literally like get onto YouTube, find a video, and just see, like, okay, like, let me see, I want to see what type of savings I can go into, you know. Oh, I want to see like how I can thoroughly budget, you know, when like there's like resources available, and some people don't know where to find these resources, but there's resources available, and we need to start spreading awareness around that there's resources available to help us become more financially literate. I'm not saying after this you gonna be that person like, listen, Mandy said I need to do ABC, so I got my shit together. I would love for you to be done with this whole series and be like, I got my shit together. But you know what? It's an ongoing process. Like, life still happens. Like, yeah, life. So there might be stumbling blocks, but those are the type of things that I've taken into consideration, as well as I will be going through thoroughly in all the videos, because that's just my point of view. Again, that's just my point of view. And you're more than welcome to drop a comment below of the type of things that have been helping you, because we all here to learn together. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, itchy. Yeah, I'm done with English. It's finished. But we are all here to learn together, and I hope that this series, you know, helps you just a little bit. Even if it's like, oh no, I know how to properly budget now. Great. Good for you. I'm happy. We're going at it. Again, I don't want to make this video very long, but I'm excited. I hope you are excited too. It's the end of the year, which is like the perfect time to do this, because you want to start the new year, which is 2021, which is going to be our 2020 redo, on a high note. And when you get it and you start it with a clean financial slate, baby, anything's going to be possible. I don't know why I did that, but yes, that's all for this video. Do not wonder and stress why I did not stress. You're not gonna stress. I don't ever make you stress. But don't wonder why I didn't go into details. But like, I just wanted to give you guys an intro of the type of things that I'm going to be speaking of. And if you know there are certain video requests, I will go into that. But if it's like something where I have to research, I will gladly research, because I learned something, you learned something. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up, a like if you like it, and turn on your post notifications so that you know every time